The village of Trottiscliffe sits close to the Pilgrims Way and was once a calling point for pilgrims en route to Canterbury, yet its history stretches back much further, to the days when England's earliest farming communities made the Medway Valley their home. Right, hello again guys, another little Kent day walk for you. Today we're in Trottiscliffe, or as I first called it, Trottiscliffe, but it's not pronounced that, it's pronounced Trottiscliffe. So we're outside the George, the pub, with parks there. It's a little 4-mile walk today. It's sort of mid-afternoon now, so it's going to be getting dark soon, so we're just doing this quick walk, a 4-mile, 2-hour walk. Candice is with me again. We've just been camping at Shawmead Fort, and we did a little day walk yesterday as well. So this one is going to be interesting today because we're going to be visiting Coldrum Stones, which is like another ancient Stone Age neolithic kind of like chamber tomb, long barrow sort of deal. So that's not far from here. So yeah, let's get ready to ramble, let's get ready to walk. Trottiscliffe was the home of World War II artist Graham Sutherland, 1903 to 1980, who lived at the White House for many years and is buried in the churchyard, which you pass at the end of this walk. Sutherland was best known as a landscape painter, but in World War II he became an official war artist, working mainly on the home front. He painted portraits as well as landscapes, and these were often controversial, as they tended to be unflattering. He is best remembered for the portrait of Sir Winston Churchill to mark his 80th birthday, which was commissioned by both Houses of Parliament, but which Churchill famously detested. The painting was destroyed by Churchill's wife. Here along Green Lane, a bridle way, we can see fine examples of Kentish tile hanging and weatherboarding on the cottages to the left. Timber was the most readily available building material until the 17th century, when the forests began to disappear. Timber frame buildings often look lopsided because Tudor builders used fresh green wood that twisted as it dried. Tiles, made of local clay, were often hung onto houses to give extra protection against the elements, particularly during the 17th and 18th centuries. Weatherboarding with wood was an alternative to tile hanging. The North Downs is a huge chalk escarpment that runs through Kent. Its steep south-facing slope is wooded and is etched with ancient trackways, like the Pilgrims Way, which have been used for thousands of years. This is Trottiscliffe Country Park, one of Kent's finest country parks. It was once the estate belonging to Trottiscliffe Towers Mansion. It covers 160 acres, or 64.8 hectares, of the North Downs. Right, welcome back. We're now on the North Downs Way, so of course that follows basically along the top of the chalk ridge escarpment across Kent. Welcome back everyone. We're still on. Oh, steady on. She's going, you alright?
Alright, it's just really slippery.
Yeah, the mud is pretty bad here. Yeah, we're still on North Downs Way, but we are now heading downhill, having come up along the ridge through the forest. It was unbelievable. You could easily sneak off into the woods for a little cheeky wild camp, definitely. Really, really nice woodland, easy track to follow. Bloody hell, this is deep mud. So yeah, we're heading downhill to sort of rejoin the Pilgrims Way, and at the bottom is Coldrum Stones. We've just come down the side of the escarpment from the North Downs Way, which was, as it says in the book, incredibly atmospheric, and it felt like it hadn't changed for thousands of years. I agree with that, we both do.
Yeah.
So now this is the Pilgrims Way. We're crossing over this and we're heading on to the Wheeled Way, and that is going to, as you can see, Coldrum Long Barrow. I can't wait for this. Coldrum Long Barrow. Better known as the Coldrum Stones, this is a neolithic burial site dating back to around 3000 BC. Originally there would have been a circle of upright stones on the site, surrounding a large earthen burial chamber. This in turn would have been divided by large stones, creating interior chambers. This style of construction is similar to that of tombs found in northwest Europe, but in Britain is confined to North Kent. It shows that there were close cultural links between the two areas. People have been investigating the site since the 1800s. When the barrow was excavated in detail in 1910, the remains of 22 people were discovered, as well as the bones of a deer, an ox, a rabbit and a fox. There are various theories about the site. The skeletons are said to have physical similarities, so they could belong to members of the same family, buried there perhaps over a number of years. Another suggestion is that the grave belonged to a chieftain, and that when he died his family, and perhaps his slaves, would have been killed so as to accompany him on his journey to the afterlife. A female skull has been found to bear the signs that she was murdered, probably by an axe, lending weight to this theory. There appear to have been two phases of burial at the site, with 100 years between them. The word Coldrum is thought to derive from Old Cornish Galdrum, which means place of enchantment. It certainly still has the power to enchant. On the 1st of May each year, the Hartley Morris men visit the stones to dance and sing up the sun. Just come to this church of St Peter and St Paul's, I think it's called, and apparently it's got a really oversized pulpit in the church that was that come from Westminster Abbey in London. So land for the church was granted in 788 AD and the chancel built in 1100 AD on Saxon foundations. The tower was added between 1185 and 1214 AD, and the church was enlarged to its present size in 1270, with the remarkable napped flint west wall rebuilt in 1885. Welcome back guys, we are back in Trosley, and yeah, their Christmas lights are really nice. We just said we're also back at the George Inn pub, which has got some very nice Christmas lights as well, and it's time, the most important bit, we're heading in for a cheeky drink.